Hey guys, welcome back to another Sons of Silicon video. Today we're going to be teaching you how to set up a router. I'm using a Linksys EA2700, very common router. However, this tutorial is applicable to just about any router. So the first thing we're going to do is restart the router. We're just going to flip it over and look for the reset switch. On my Cisco Linksys EA2700, the reset switch is right there. So we're going to take a paper clip or something pointy and we're going to stick it into the reset button and press it. And we're going to hold it there for about 10 seconds. First thing you're going to notice is that the solid green light, that's the power light, is going to start blinking. And once that light starts blinking, we're going to wait for all the Ethernet ports. What's going to happen is all the lights are going to blink at once. See, there we go. And now when we release the button, all the lights are going to blink again and the router is starting the reset process. Now this green LED is going to keep blinking for about 60 to 80 seconds. Just wait for that to restart. Once it becomes a solid light, we can move on to the next step. Okay, now the reboot process is complete. You can see by the solid green light. Now we're going to connect our computer to the router. We're not going to plug it into the internet port. We want to plug it into one of the 4 LAN ports. And once you have that plugged in, we're going to move on to the next step, which is setting it up. Alright, now that we have the computer connected to the router, we're going to open up a web browser. I'm using Internet Explorer. It doesn't really matter which one you use. And before I continue, I'm just going to put the laptop into airplane mode. Just so I'm only connected to the router that I'm trying to set up and nothing else. We're going to go to the address bar and type in the IP address for the router. For all Linksys routers, it's 192.168.1.1. For most other routers, it's 192.168.0.1. If none of those IP addresses work for you, just pop a comment below and we'll try to help you out. So we're going to go to the IP address and we're going to get a notification that the internet's down. That's fine. We're just going to log into the router. It's going to ask me for a password. The password for Linksys routers is just admin, ADMIN, all in lowercase. Some other routers, if asked for username and password, usually the default for those is the username is CUSadmin and the password is just password, all lowercase. But usually the default credentials of your router are available online. If you can't find them, just pop a comment below and we'll help you out. So we're going to sign into the router and we're going to go to the router settings. That's the one down here. I'm going to try to get to the home page so you can see all the settings. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to go to the router settings. We're going to go to connectivity. And then we're going to go to our internet settings. Not all router user interfaces are set up like this. You're just going to try to find the internet settings for the IPv4. And we're going to edit that setting and we're going to make it automatic configuration DHCP. Only use this configuration if you only have one router in the house. If you have more than one, we're going to post another video that tells you how to set up more than one router in your house. So if that's your case, just check out that video. Now that we have this set up, we're going to set up our basic internet, our wireless information. We're going to go to edit. I'm just going to call my network alpha, and then my 5G network, I'll just call it alpha 5G. Alright, set up your time zone however you want. See, the update for the firmware, if you're setting up your router, that means you don't have a router internet connection at the moment, but the firmware, you can always come back to 192.168.1.1 when you are connected to the internet and check for updates. And we will just move on to the security settings for the router. Yes, confirm that. Okay. See down here we have router password. That's actually the password to enter the router. I'm going to keep it at admin just because it's something easy to remember. Okay, we're going to click OK, and now let's go to our wireless and set up the wireless security settings. Now you're going to click edit on the 2.4 gigahertz network. The network mode I want is mixed, just so all devices are compatible with it. Security mode, I always choose WPA2 personal just because it's the best encryption technology that's available for consumer use right now. The channel width, I like to keep it at 20 megahertz only. That's best practice in the industry today. And the channel, you're going to want to pick the least crowded channel. There are some iPhone and Android apps available that will check the traffic on each channel, but usually the router is pretty good at detecting that, so we're just going to click auto. And we always want to broadcast the SSID. Now for the password, I'm just going to put alpha beta. That's fine. Just pick a password that's hard to guess. Do the same thing over here. The security mode you want is WPA2 personal. The password, again, I'm going to keep it alpha beta. The network mode, we want to keep it mixed just so all devices are compatible with your Wi-Fi network. The channel width, I like to put it at 40 megahertz just so the 20 megahertz channel does not get too crowded. Again, the channel, you can use an iPhone or Android app to check the traffic on each channel. I'm just going to keep it on auto because the routers are good enough to figure it out themselves. Now let's move over to Wi-Fi protected setup. Yes, I'm going to change, save the changes. Yes, I want to continue. Now the router is going to reboot, so let's wait for it to reboot. Alright, now that we're back here, now some routers have an option on the back. You see a button that's like this when you want to set it up using WPS protection, which is Wi-Fi protected setup. You press the button on the back of your router, and then there's an option that comes up on the Wi-Fi. Personally, I don't use this option. I find it hard to actually go to the router and press the button, and I just like to remember my password. We're going to click apply. Okay. Alright, now we're going to click OK, and your router is pretty much set up. So now that we're done with this, we're just going to unplug the Ethernet from the computer and connect it to your desktop, or you can leave it empty, that's fine. And we're going to now connect the internet cable. Now that the router is set up, we're just going to plug in the internet cable, coming out of your modem, or if you have an Ethernet network at home, just coming out of that, plug it into the one internet port that's on every router, and that's it. Congratulations, you have officially set up your router. That's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please drop a like and subscribe to our channel, and see you all next time.